And hello there, guys and gals. It is, of course, again your buddy JD. I am again your captain for this wonderful flight out of Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France, on our way to Heathrow Airport in London, England. Yes. Of course, we're still flying our C-27. Flight is still called Fenrir 1031. Taxied back out. We're back on our runway for takeoff. We are just ready to go. All we got to do is jump back in the cockpit here, pull our HUD down. Alright, there we go. And everything's set. Current flight plan is it wants all of our waypoints on our way to Heathrow are roughly 45,000, but we're going to fly it with 10,000 on our way over. And once we get about midway across the channel, or channel, or however you want to pronounce it, it's channel. Or Chanel, but I'll call it channel. We'll drop down to 4,500, and then once we reach a waypoint I've got in my head, waypoint 1, we'll drop down to 2,000. We'll start configuring for landing, because by that time we'll be within about 5 miles, so it'll be a somewhat short final. But alright, let's go ahead and start throttling up. Everything's ready for takeoff. Let's roll out of here. And I have no clue if the co-pilot's actually going to give me information, so nope. No information from him. So we're rolling it out on our own and keeping the numbers in our head. So at about 120 we will again rotate. Yep, there we go. Rotate up.
100, 50, 40.
And flaps up so it doesn't bitch about it. Alright. Let's go ahead and we'll bring autopilot on. We'll bring altitude, indicated airspeed, and navigation on. While we're doing that, we'll come over, we'll turn off landing lights. Looks creepy as hell sitting here because I can see the ground and everything. It's like, oh god, we're still really low. And we technically are. We're only about 1,000 feet up. Scary! And how do we look? Yeah, not bad. Watch ourselves from the tower. There we are. So as we're climbing out here, guys, on autopilot, rolling out, let's talk. I realized I didn't really show you guys the radio panel in the last episode. So here's what the radio panel looks like. You just click radio. It brings you to this. If you want to change the frequencies, you just hit the soft button here, use the number pad, execute, and it'll change the frequency. TACAN page. Same way, right here we've got our transponder, or this is the transponder page, not TACAN page, sorry. Transponder, change frequency, we'll just leave it as 1200 for now. And you hit execute, and it'll change it down here for you. So that's where you can, oh, well, looks like I manually changed it here as well. That one I didn't know I could change. Some of these others you can't, like nav radio and stuff like that. I can't use the buttons for them. Unless, well, hold on, let's see if I can do it while I'm on the page. Nope. So, there's transponder page, TACAN page. If you know the TACAN you're going to, you know its frequency, you know which mode it is, whether it's X or Y. That is actually very important, knowing which mode you're going to be going into. I could sit down and explain TACAN theory to you, but I don't think you have 2 weeks of time. And I don't really feel like sitting around for 2 weeks explaining TACAN theory, when I could tell you that a TACAN is a TACAN is a TACAN, which means it's a giant frickin' radio beacon. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a TACAN. I'm just not going to tell you about it. If you're wondering, I actually am trained to maintain airfield navigation equipment, including TACANs, radios, and tower stuff, so, you know, including weather data. So I I can tell you quite a bit about airfield maintenance equipment. I can also tell you that it's a royal pain in the backside. So, while we are flying out here, that's all of that. I don't know if you guys need or want to see anything else. If you guys have any questions or whatever, feel free to leave it in the comments, or if you guys, are enjoying what's going on, just let me know. We're going to be flying for quite a while. And looks like the weather's not bad. Hopefully the weather will hold up on the way over to England. I know there's been some clouds and stuff like that going on around over there. And yeah. Oh, and apart from being able to change CDI source here, if you noticed how we changed to purple for GP or for nav 2, and now it's yellow, and now it's gone. Yellow, purple, green, blue. I can change them here, or I can change them down here by pressing the N2 or N1 soft keys respectively, and it'll change that switch up there as well. And we'll put it on GPS. And I can also switch nav frequencies if I need to, and comm frequencies. That's some just more stuff. It's basically playing around with it, seeing exactly what you can and can't tweak for the most part with this plane, because there's stuff you used to be able to tweak that you can't tweak, and there's stuff you couldn't tweak before that you can tweak now, is what it feels like. So we'll put that on just for the giggles of it. So here we are. Frame rate's doing a lot better today. And I don't know. It may have just been software going last time. Who knows? But yeah, we're looking good. So there we go. So next big thing to wait for should be when we hit the channel. I really don't need the hood at this moment. We'll worry about it when we're coming in for landing. Did you guys see that little Cessna? Hold on, let me swing around. I just happened to turn and see this little Cessna just scream past. Yeah. This little black dot. 2 nautical miles away now, gaining. Just turned and looked, and I'm like, oh, look, a black dot. Oh my god, it's a Cessna. Still wish I could see him on the radar, but hey, 6 1 half dozen the other. Maybe that'll get fixed one day. 3 degrees centigrade at about 8,000 feet and dropping. We'll probably get down to around -1 degree centigrade or Celsius, depending on your view of the world. At least it's not in Kelvin. Although I don't know why they put it in centigrade. Well, it's probably because it's a European aircraft. There's a very few countries that use Fahrenheit for anything. Shouldn't be too far from being able to see the channel. I think it's once we get past these clouds, it'll start being visible. Should be on. It should be out on our horizon right now, though. Yeah, here we go, coming up on the channel now. All those people down below having wine and baguettes or whatever down there on the French coast, whatever the French people eat for lunch, because it's lunchtime roughly, or dinner time depending on your view of the world, and then supper afterwards. Yeah, which means we're roughly almost about halfway through. Not too bad. And dead ahead's the English coastline. So since we've crossed over, let's go ahead and drop altitude. Start our descent down to 45. Here in a couple of minutes, the weather will update because the weather station in England will be able to report the weather. And it'll probably... I'm going to go with foggy. That's going to be my current bet. Just because the little bit of clouds I see out there, I think we're going to get a foggy inland and heavy cloud cover. Or light, or moderate to heavy cloud cover until we get past Gatwick. And then it'll be light to medium and then nothing once we come into Heathrow. Light clouds around Heathrow would be my bet. Just my bet, though. But, let's see. 44 miles. So probably in about 3 minutes it'll update. Roughly. Don't count on it, just roughly around 3 minutes it should update the weather. That was kind of anticlimactic. I was expecting some weather change by now. Usually there is. We go some distance in between weather stations especially like over oceans or anything like that. The weather is crazy. And just check ground speed. 316. So yeah, we're getting pushed back a little bit. So we've got a headwind holding us back a little bit. Not too bad, but a good chunk. Usually we could be doing 400 right now. Over ground, not airspeed. I'd try to maintain ground or airspeed at cruising speed of 315 for the aircraft. 319, not bad. There it is. There's the weather update. Look at all that low cloud cover. We're picking up speed. Our headwind turned to a tailwind. Yeah. Well, no, not really. It's sitting more off to our left hand, but okay. As it slams us again. Another place besides the HUD you can check speed is down here in the first display, right under airspeed. And D for direction, and V for velocity, if I understood it correctly. Flying through pretty much whiteout conditions now, good lord. This plane gets rocked again. 333 at about 20. Not bad. Good gust. I can see stuff down there. I can see you, England. This is England, covered in clouds. I was hoping for a little bit more of a visual appealing trip, but okay. Clouds, fine, whatever. Screw you too, Mother Nature. It looks like we'll be landing right about when I thought we would. Good. Still miss my co-pilot. No Steve. I'll show you guys one of these days what I mean. Now, in the old version, there's a co-pilot that sits there and tells you things and lets you know. This one, the co-pilot sometimes says stuff and other times he doesn't. He keeps you guessing. Sometimes he says, you know, hey, airspeed active and stuff like that. But, for the most part, he really doesn't. He's kind of annoying, to be honest. I miss when it always did it. The guy was there, you know. I wish when the actual pilot's body was here. That was nice. But I miss the C-27 Spartan logo on the top of the chart frame there. Just little things, little details, if you will. Some discipline or some details that were lost. They rack risoprin. Do 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 do. 5 minutes to OCK, and then we'll drop to 2,000 feet and commence slowing down. There's Gatwick up ahead. And hopefully cloud cover will clear once we get past Gatwick. As long as nothing's moving into London. The next leg after this one is going to be to Belfast. That's right, Belfast, Ireland. We'll be heading there. We are not going to fill up the tank here at Heathrow. We're going to keep flying with what we got. See, we're 15.6. So what's the status of ox tanks? Down to 38, 31. So this will do hopefully down around 2,000 something by the time we land. 1,000 in each tank. And then we'll use what's left of that and the main tank to fly to Belfast. And then depending on how much fuel we've got and distance and all that, we'll probably just fly from there over to Reykjavik. And once we land at Reykjavik, we will refuel and get set up for the flight to Greenland. And everything should be grand and groovy at that point. Oh yeah, here we go, starting to clear it. Something about Gatwick, whenever you start getting close to Gatwick and you're coming into it, it's always like cloudy and crap. And once you start getting to where you're almost past Gatwick, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's free clear sky. Every time I've ever flown in England, it's like this. And I mean in the simulator, not in real life. I have not yet been to England. It's on that list of things to do, hopefully in the next few years. Been finding some great deals for like 2 weeks. They, you know, travel all over England. You know, it includes like Wales, Cardigan, all the way up to Scotland. Not bad. And it's only like $2,000, something like that, and it includes, you know, travel and everything. So yeah, not bad. Take you over to Wales, you see the castles, and of course you see London, you see the, you know, Big Ben and the Tower of London and all the touristy stuff in London, you know. Then they run you up, they take you to Edinburgh, stuff like that. So, who knows? Time will tell. But hopefully, they'll probably stick me on like a 777 or something like that. Fly over that far. Yeah, my stepdad actually worked on the 777 project. He was one of the software guys for it. Cool project. Remember when that thing first came around. Cool stuff. And we're coming up. Coming up. We're coming up. Yeah, you can see Heathrow right over there. Sorry. And once we get past OCK here, we'll drop down to 2,000 feet. We'll start configuring for landing. Oh, 7 degrees centigrade down here. Celsius. Evil. Do the touristy thing. Quick, look out the window. What do you see? Houses. It's probably where the rich people live, is down this side. I don't know. We're what, southeast side right now? Yeah, we're on the southeast side. Commencing turn. Commence altitude drop. And start dropping speed off. Too much speed to drop off. Let's keep it about 160. Yes, 160 will be fine. Woohoo! Talk about a hit. Roughly that should put about 1,800 below the plane. And then once we get further on, we'll start dropping more off. Hopefully the goal is to touch down around 150 to 140-ish. For a nice soft landing at least. And about waypoint 3 up there. There's what is that, waypoint 2? Might be on waypoint 3. It's hard to remember which order I did these on. We'll drop gear, help slow the plane down. Once we get about 170, we'll put first stage flaps in and start dropping in flaps. Because the last part's about 3 miles, I think, of travel. So it gives us plenty of time to put put full flaps in, everything else. We'll go ahead and arm the air brake. Air brake armed, it shows up on the display here, the yellow air brake. That tells me it's armed. So there we go on that. Probably go ahead and pull my HUD back down so I don't have to keep looking down at information. There we go, we're about 200 over ground right now. Slowing down. Going to waypoint 2. Let's go ahead and drop gear. There you go, gear's down. We'll knock in the first step of flaps. Sorry. Grab a drink before we keep going here. Alright. At waypoint 2, I'll drop second stage of flaps. And then we'll hit LLW, go to third on flaps. And we should be good. Like that's what, a castle over there is what it's supposed to be, like the Tower of London or something like that. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I have no clue what it really is for FSX wise. But it looks like a castle. Looks like something in DayZ. That's what it looks like. I should be running there to hook up with other bandits and kill people and zombies and stuff. Lord. Alright. Second stage of flaps in. Good. And about LLW will drop down to 1,000 feet. Should give us roughly around 800 feet below us. 800 to 900 as we're coming in. And then the last little bit on the way in, we'll just kill everything off and fly in manual. There we go, there's that. There's third stage. And you can drop to that part that far. And there we go, coming in on final. Centigrade, Celsius. So yeah, it looks like a castle. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Tower of London, but let's be honest, there aren't FSX doesn't do that great of a job with London per se. I'm sure, you know, I could find tons of either payware or freeware. Hey, make London look better, you know, whatever. I'm not that really concerned with it, to be honest. And still 5 nautical miles. Yeah, 5 nautical miles to the end of the line. Yeah, hush, silly thing. It was complaining it was going too fast, which 155 is its limit for full flaps. It'll cry about it. Alright, so from this point on, everything goes off. Bring her in nicely.
Altitude, 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 altitude.
Yes, I know. You want to bitch about altitude.
500. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Hit the wrong button. Did not mean to go to outside view. Alright, so a little bit better. Still kind of rough. I don't really. Flaps all the way up. And let's find us a parking spot, shall we? Let's get rid of the HUD. Don't need that. And we taxi on over. Hey, look, the fuel truck. Go away, fuel truck. I don't need you. Yeah, we'll call it good there. We'll park her there. So, here we are, guys. Safe and sound. In Heathrow. So, as for me, guys, we will catch you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the flight. And may all your landings equal the amount of takeoffs. We'll see you out there, guys. Peace.